Welcome to Voices Online TV, your trusted source for the latest news and developments in Sierra Leone. Today, we embark on a groundbreaking journey into the arts of our nation's digital evolution. In a world where information flows seamlessly through screens and keyboards, new media has become a powerful force shaping our society and driving progress. From the energetic bloggers who bring fresh perspective to social media, influencers who amplify voices and stories, Sierra Leone's digital landscape and engagement. In our new program, New Media Contribution to Development in Sierra Leone, we explore how these digital pioneers are transforming our nation. Join us as we dive into the world of online content creators and media innovators, discovering how their efforts are fostering growth, education, and empowerment across Sierra Leone. Tune in as we spotlight the voices behind the screens, unveil the impact of new media. This is New Media Contribution to Development in Sierra Leone. Only come to Voices of today's digital evolution. In a world where information flows seamlessly through screens and keyboards, new media has become a powerful force shaping perspective to social media, influencers who amplify and contribution to development in Sierra Leone. We explore how these digital pioneers are transforming our nation. One Sierra Leone, the impact of new media on our development journey.
Trusted Information Hub.
Welcome to Voices Online TV, your trusted source for the latest news and developments in Sierra Leone. Today, we embark on a groundbreaking journey into the arts of our nation's digital evolution. In a world where information flows seamlessly through screens and keyboards, new media has become a powerful force shaping our society and driving progress. From the energetic bloggers who bring fresh perspective to social media, influencers who amplify voices and stories, Sierra Leone's digital landscape is alive with innovation and engagement. In our new program, New Media Contribution to Development in Sierra Leone, we explore how these digital pioneers are transforming our nation. Join us as we dive into the world of online content creators and media innovators, discovering how their efforts are fostering growth, education, and empowerment across Sierra Leone. Tune in as we spotlight the voices behind the screens, unveil the impact of new media on our development journey. This is New Media Contribution to Development in Sierra Leone, only on Voices Online TV. Voices,
your trusted Information Hub.
Welcome to Voices Online TV, your trusted source for the latest news and developments in Sierra Leone. Today, we embark on a groundbreaking journey into the arts of our nation's digital evolution. In a world where information flows seamlessly through screens and keyboards, new media has become a powerful force shaping our society and driving progress. From the energetic bloggers who bring fresh perspective to social media, Influencers who amplify voices and stories. Sierra Leone's digital landscape is alive with innovation and engagement. In our new program, New Media: Contribution to Development in Sierra Leone, we explore how these digital pioneers are transforming our nation. Join us as we dive into the world of online content creators and media innovators, discovering how their efforts are fostering growth, education, and empowerment across Sierra Leone. Tune in as we spotlight the voices behind the screens, unveil the impact of new media on our development journey. This is New Media: Contribution to Development in Sierra Leone, only on Voices Online TV. Voices,
your trusted information hub.
Welcome to Voices Online TV, your trusted source for the latest news and developments in Sierra Leone. Today, we embark on a groundbreaking journey into the arts of our nation's digital evolution. In a world where information flows seamlessly through screens and keyboards, new media has become a powerful force shaping our society and driving progress. From the energetic bloggers who bring fresh perspective to social media, influencers who amplify voices and stories, Sierra Leone's digital landscape is alive with innovation and engagement. In our new program, New Media: Contribution to Development in Sierra Leone, we explore how these digital pioneers are transforming our nation. Join us as we dive into the world of online content creators and media innovators, discovering how their efforts are fostering growth, education, and empowerment across Sierra Leone. Tune in as we spotlight the voices behind the screens, unveil the impact of new media on our development journey. This is New Media: Contribution to Development in Sierra Leone, only on Voices Online TV. Voices,
your trusted information hub.
Welcome to Voices Online TV, your trusted source for the latest news and developments in Sierra Leone. Today, we embark on a groundbreaking journey into the arts of our nation's digital evolution. In a world where information flows seamlessly through screens and keyboards, new media has become a powerful force shaping our society and driving progress. From the energetic bloggers who bring fresh perspective to social media, influencers who amplify voices and stories, Sierra Leone's digital landscape is alive with innovation and engagement. In our new program, New Media: Contribution to Development in Sierra Leone, we explore how these digital pioneers are transforming our nation. Join us as we dive into the world of online content creators and media innovators, discovering how their efforts are fostering growth, education, and empowerment across Sierra Leone. Tune in as we spotlight the voices behind the screens, unveil the impact of new media on our development journey. This is New Media: Contribution to Development in Sierra Leone, only on Voices Online TV. Voices,
your trusted information hub.
Welcome to Voices Online TV, your trusted source for the latest news and developments in Sierra Leone. Today, we embark on a groundbreaking journey into the arts of our nation's digital evolution. In a world where information flows seamlessly through screens and keyboards, new media has become a powerful force shaping our society and driving progress. From the energetic bloggers who bring fresh perspective to social media, influencers who amplify voices and stories, Sierra Leone's digital landscape is alive with innovation and engagement. In our new program, New Media: Contribution to Development in Sierra Leone, we explore how these digital pioneers are transforming our nation. Join us as we dive into the world of online content creators and media innovators, discovering how their efforts are fostering growth, education, and empowerment across Sierra Leone. Tune in as we spotlight the voices behind the screens, unveil the impact of new media on our development journey. This is New Media: Contribution to Development in Sierra Leone, only on Voices Online TV. Voices,
Your trusted information hub.
welcome to Voices Online TV, your trusted source for the latest news and developments in Sierra Leone. Today, we embark on a groundbreaking journey into the arts of our nation's digital evolution. In a world where information flows seamlessly through screens and keyboards, new media has become a powerful force shaping our society and driving progress. From the energetic bloggers who bring fresh perspective to social media, influencers who amplify voices and stories, Sierra Leone's digital landscape is alive with innovation and engagement. In our new program, New Media: Contribution to Development in Sierra Leone, we explore how these digital pioneers are transforming our nation. Join us as we dive into the world of online content creators and media innovators, discovering how their efforts are fostering growth, education, and empowerment across Sierra Leone. Tune in as we spotlight the voices behind the screens, unveil the impact of new media on our development journey. This is New Media: Contribution to Development in Sierra Leone, only on Voices Online TV. Voices,
Your trusted information hub.
Well,
Good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime Live. We come to you live on Voices Online TV, on Facebook and on YouTube. This is a program where they look at issues that happen around the country. This one program, yourself can be part of them by way how you would work with comments on Facebook page and YouTube comment section. Or you can same way to drop a message to the number +232 34 5225373 and where they come to this edition of Lunchtime Live. Me now Arnold Phoenix Elba. Inside the program this afternoon, we can talk about ACC
related handbook and waiting detail into them projects in the and not for at any point depart from the principles, the procedures and the rules then we guide in projects and the because we do these admonishments. I mean, we would not want to say one would be a lot,
Technically,
stern or so. But we do this because we don't meant to understand. We don't get a lot of reports then that the one the way they implement donor funded programs then they depart from waiting and waiting the project entails, the guiding procedures then for the program. And in such instances, the government that then can be at the bonds by paying. We're making refunds. I will give an example. Waiting basically we also specify. Let's say we get a donor funded project by the EU and this program yeah, then specify say in implementing it if it involves the purchase of certain mechanical items like a vehicle or so, then specify say the vehicle since na EU funded projects the purchase of such vehicle then for do an EU country. So then we put down the part of the project schools already understanding waiting at the prices then of them vehicles and the way they will get na EU country and na EU money. And so if they want the way they implement waiting on they happen, some of the instances then, if they go ahead now and go buy that vehicle in China, they don't go in contravention with waiting exactly the project state that if you purchase the vehicle in EU. So in that instance, the waiting can happen. They don't know funders them when they know of them things and they ask for refund of the monies and they. So governments are then can they on the other hand now for make those refunds when are out of whether sheer negligence or whether now somebody just unilaterally decide for do what you want away from waiting at the contract.
You don't think that because of interest make them can do them thing they ignore waiting do actually they at the contract.
So it could be, but it can also be say something you look at and say if the vehicle way for buy if you get an less than China or so maybe even the rest of the money itself will still be directed into the project so you decide to like go buy but your responsibility is for comply if there's in an EU country there is no reason whatsoever it's a donor funded program now the money if the Motkana EU country it is triple times expensive than now to go buy on that you buy it there because that is what the project entails. So those are some of the circumstances that come to knowledge. Also another issue is projects them of their nature then donor funded programs then get defined timeline that this time now in the project they take. So after the defined timeline if we're not able to complete the program if we're not able to complete the project and if the project for completes on the 31st of October 2024 and on the 1st of November you expend a dime and that project money they consider those funds as ineligible expenditures and they can request the government for refund them back. So they may not necessarily be funds that are misappropriated. They might have been appropriated well, but being that now outside the project defined timeline, then can be very strict and firm that they return the money because the process and procedure say if the project is not able to complete and within the designated timeline, where on all parties they agree, there is a process you for ask.
Okay, Alex, we can continue this conversation. Make a look at another story inside the program this afternoon. This BNTM, the police be arrest some APC members we be going at them party headquarter outside them be they try for make them voice them hard with as the party be they get a meeting with international moral ground tells them. Well, about 20 of them be under police detention for 5 days. And the APC party be don't secure the release. Dr. Richard Conte, now one part of the people who will be there before this, he explained to Emmanuel John Conte the role we then take for secure them people at the release. Make we able to get for say.
If you recall, una be
201.
Well, sorry for that incertainty. We'll try for bringing them back as ABD give some issue. Then I still get Alex Barr, now the studio, with our public relations assistant, now the Anti-Corruption Commission. Alex, will you talk on this call we want to make to public people who work for government and would implement donor project them? Is it that because government don't see then they lost too much money, make una say the ACC for come and act on this?
Well, yes, governments don't they incur some losses, and the mandate of the ACC now for protect public resources. For let those public resources, they not misappropriate them. So now in that spirit today, with all of them losses, then things that they will counter with knowledge, that we decide say now, as a commission, we intervene, and we also the set up what we refer to as a task force, and then task force then they get a mandate for look through all pending government contracts then, and foresee if there could be any issues within the contracts then they. So basically this is now a proactive step for address the issues there will be done they happen, where governments they incur some losses there, where sometimes it can affect even the confidence we donor partners then can get for expend more resources. So this now for restore all of that, for prevent government from making some of those losses by refunding monies, then way it's probably just as a result of somebody negligence or unilateral decision for do what you're not supposed to do. The government they pay. So that is the reason why we don't decide for coming, and it will also serve for restore. It will go a long way for restore the confidence we donor partners then go get that if they expend their resources, people then no go just negligently left for follow waiting at the defined procedures then. So this one kind proactive cautionary step.
So if a person they will decide okay, institution will decide say okay, we're not release with ACC, you get any punishment like things they where the ACC go do them?
Yes, we in fact we make them very clear that if somebody decide not for follow them, rules there where we don't state, if then go against them, project officers they are the one they will play with one, they will charge with the responsibility for see out government programs them, donor funded programs them. We not just they ask them, for make refunds instead of governments. So now them personally will be held liable. So if you're found wanting, you'll be personally held liable for for those losses. And we not only the stop and day, if there is a need, we see very strong reasons. You not just they make their refunds then to the ACC or they redirect, accordingly, but if there is need be, with a press charges them against you, you will be held liable. There will be sanctions them with also effect. So it's a two-way thing. You could be asked for pay them money then they, and you could also be charged to court.
What are some of the measures they want to put, the commission put for CC people actually follow due process?
Yeah, basically, Naimika say they get a task force. That task force, they go and review. They review government pending programs, and the one they already were on, where they have been implemented. In fact, the task force they get for do a comprehensive review of all of those ones. So then they come back and we look and we see how we go intervene. But more importantly as well, we not just pull this notice for admonish public officers that we already start for effect. Some of them sanctions there. We get a case in point with Salwako. Now one way as well involved waiting, we basically specify in this program here where the one way for implement, they not follow the specified donor rules them. So as I did talk to you now, then already they make payments them at the ACC before this time. Our government be they incurred and lost them, but then they make payments in at the ACC, and when they don't make payments, we decide we can get for be the next line of action. But then at the first limb of the sanction, we already start for effect.
Okay, when I put 8 measures then.
Yes.
So all 8 measures then they public people already implement project on behalf of when I don't know project on behalf of the government of Salon or on behalf of the people of Salon. Are there 8 steps and they're supposed to follow?
Yeah, sure. And broadly, those steps generally hinge on ensuring one, you follow within well-defined in the project implementation manual, handbook, and other related documents. There is no room for any departure whatsoever. Two, you generally also need for ensure if there is any fund where you want to expend beyond the defined timeline of the project, you need for it has to be authorized. So you need go on your own, say the project not done it, and the time don't pass, you still expend the resources for completing. So in such cases, then where the donor parties then or partners then can ask for refund any money you want to spend. So because those funds will be considered ineligible. So part of the rules where we don't resound now that if you spend a dime after the project timeline, such expenditure has to be sanctioned. You need for requests formally, expressly for an extension, and the extension has to be expressly given as well. So only when you are being authorized, then you are permitted for expend the resources. So basically, those are just the broad measures then we expect public officers then for comply with.
In all of this, one of the talks, one of the try for do so. Now we see in a case where you now look one set of institutions and give them treat them nicely, and go harsh on them.
Now we work where we did do as a commission for the past 24 years when we don't operate as a professional-led body. We are guided. We are a professional-led, investigative body. So we do work dispassionately and very fiercely.
No secret.
So we not get any set of individuals them we would be treated any differently. Waiting we focus on and the one that will comply with law, and the one that will not comply, then one they face the sanctions them as clearly provided for by law.
Okay, Alex, when we come back, let me go and take this story back. Usai, Dr. Isha, contemporarily talked to my colleague earlier about how the party leadership betrayed with the police for securing the list of some of the members them. Dr. Isha, I want to talk more to Emmanuel John Conte.
If you recall, when I be interviewed me on that day, and I be talk say, I believe, say the leadership of we party go take steps, forget the one day we be do arrest as a result of waiting transpire on that day around the party office. They will take steps made and get them released, and I believe say that don't happen now.
Okay, and we know say now then don't release them. We understand say you know one person we did before we facilitate that, and we don't see other people and we don't they associate themselves from them people and they how you go about for make sure say they release them people and they wouldn't be detained.
Well, first of all, me not go ever dissociate myself from anything we involve Sierra Leoneans. If Sierra Leoneans then they in distress or they get any complication and I get any way where I can assist, I will always turn them help. In this particular case, being not said by law, they're not supposed to detain somebody for more than 72 hours without charging the matter to court. And the matter we don't prolong for 6 days. This was now the 7th day. As I've been saying in my interview, I would expect say the leaders of the party for don't take steps for get the matter resolved either way. As a responsible citizen and as a concerned member of the APC party, I've been concerned. Whichever faction these people they support, the fact is that they were APC supporters. And I believe say they come for express their views about the elections of June 2023. And the views where they express, for me, now views where the party hold, that now for say the elections will be conducted in June 2023 were rigged that the results where they announce not reflect the views and wishes of the Sierra Leoneans, the majority of the Sierra Leoneans. That is the position where the party hold, and because of that position, the party will take all those steps or even get to the dialogue. So yes, these people will take their time and go out and cast their votes and register their desire for getting government of their choice. They feel bad about that somebody can just exploit in privileged position and just deprive them of their victory. So they come that day for registering protest. And as I've been saying in my interview, not a crime. For protest, not a crime. Waiting a crime, na way you disrupt the free movement, the peace of others, where you interfere with other people, their own freedom, then it becomes something else. But for just demonstrate and even express how you feel about the situation, not a crime. Where they travel around the world, and even in the Constitution, a fundamental human right for every Sierra Leonean. So, no problem. So, on that day, on the 7th day, I became concerned as a Sierra Leonean. So I picked my phone, I called the IG. This was between around 5:30 in the evening. I called the IG for trying to understand why this situation is still not resolved. Well, I gave a learn from the IG, say, well, the matter, then they look into them, and I get give me your side of the story. And we get a very brotherly discussion, and we try to make we understand about the need for tamper justice with mercy, and the need for make we find an amicable settlement to the issue, make would degenerate any further, and make people not continue for suffer indefinitely. So I began for learn now from there for say other members of the leadership, we don't go there. The chairman of the party, we don't go there. We see pictures on social media. Secretary General and some other elders, we don't go there. I even understand, say, to Samura self, we don't go there. And Payasane self, we don't go there. And in fact, even on that day, at 5, Payasane be there. He be they try for get people released on that day. And but they be tell and say, make it go and come back the next day for get the people released. But after I placed the call and get the discussion with the IG, he get for tell me, say, in fact, Payasane don't come and he don't go. And I say, okay, I will call Payasane, make it come, let we all go back, let we go try for get these people released. He say, okay, fine. Call and make una go there, make una get the matter released. So I began for call Payasane. We all go back to the CID, and thank God we've been succeed for secure the release of all 28 of the one that we've been still there in detention.
So what does this mean for the democracy as Sierra Leonean? Because in the initial statement you say this now the people in rights as long as not disrupt the peace. But if we continue for the get this same thing where they happen, we people in the world therefore make sure say they express their dissatisfaction. For some things they may go. What think this will mean for?
No, well, the head of CID say they investigate, and the arresting officers, they say they get evidence for say then why would they arrest? They been go beyond just expressing their views or free speech. They been go beyond that. That is their view, and that there was sufficient reason for make them charge them and go to court. That's not the conclusion where they get from the preliminary investigations. And I'm not going to question the veracity or otherwise of the assertion there. But what's important that they are out. But in terms of we democracy, like this country, I think the fight for electoral justice, they continue, because we believe, say, a fundamental right of a people in any country for choose the leaders we for lead.
That's not been Dr. Richard Conte. They talked to my colleague Emmanuel John Conte on the steps with the APC party be take for secure the release of some APC members that will police be arrested, will be going on the party headquarters outside and they try for voice out their grievance according for sake of the last election. The program they watch now lunchtime live. They come to you live on Voices Online TV. And I still get in the studio with me, Alex Ba, in the Public Relations Assistant, now the Anti-Corruption Commission. With the talk about talk about the steps the way the Anti-Corruption Commission they take for CC the reduced amount of corruption, especially recently they pull a statement on the side and they talk about say public officials will be accountable. Well, Alex, before we take a break, we talk about how effective this step one and take will be in reducing the way people they mismanage or misuse donor fund.
Yes, law make and clear. This is not the thing about misuse or mismanagement of funds. Yeah.
But if you take donor money, who says the state and clearly say do this, but use them for this, not misuse.
No, it's not misuse or mismanagement of funds. These things are critical. Now we anti-corruption law, section 37. It speaks clearly that misuse of public funds or misappropriation of public funds now a corruption offense. But in this context, it cannot necessarily, going by waiting mismanage of public funds or misappropriation, means speak to senso that is what's the case in point here. So waiting with the admonish, waiting at the bottleneck here. Now for let public officers then comply with waiting well defined in them project implementation guidelines there. So if you decide, say, you are very passionate about accomplishing this project as a public officer, so in that spirit, you not comply. I make a critical example. Say one, if at all you are bound, they ask you, say you forget a vehicle, and you go bound somewhere else, well, maybe in your view, you basically want for they expend considerable resources, something reasonable rather, and you go buy something lesser, something more reasonable for save more resources for expending into the program. So you don't necessarily mismanage those resources. But that singular act today, what you do, will not comply with within the project specify. That is a concern. So that is why we need to get and first clear that it is not an outright mismanagement of funds. So it's just a thing about not complying, non-compliant with within defined, but it could also be in some instances of misappropriation. So now I could make and clear that one, if you not comply, you will be personally held liable. And when we investigate, if we find out, if we get any reason for feel like say you action clearly contravene what is spelled out inside the law, we give it the locus. We go hold you. We go effect some of the sanctions in the law provide. But firstly, you'll be liable if now resources you expend or you're not supposed to expend. You would have to refund those monies. We know to government they refund that don't use for B. But if we also beyond that get need or get reasons based on waiting the evidence provide and waiting the law state, you will be charged to court or other actions that as appropriately will be taken.
How this go help individuals them, institutions them, not for continue this practice when they try for reduce?
Yes, that is exactly what we're doing. By admonishing them, we pull a press release, we do some of their engagements there, and let them be aware that the ACC, part of we oversight functions, we oversight mandate in protecting public resources, in protecting government funds, in protecting donor resources. We meant for the public. We are alert for monitor in terms of then execution or then conduct in executing their responsibilities then. But way and beyond that, we also don't get a task force, part of the enforcement of all of them policies there. We get a task force where they go and look through government, pending projects them, and then we'll see.
When I get a database of government project them, we in a donor funded project them, we wanna go look, say, okay, this particular now they monitor, this one done, this one ready for done, like this one still pending.
But basically, now that with task force we will set up, now that mandate they then get for do a comprehensive look on all of the pending, you know, donor projects them or donor contracts them, and that is part of really then specific primary mandate.
Talking about all this, una get a conversation with the institution them before una start this process.
We don't necessarily need to get a conversation. We they act on one intelligence. They act also on reports. Then we will get. If we see
but this is a government institution. This is our partner them.
And that's the point. So whether in a government or a private entity, hence it affects the public one way or the other. We you know, we get a mandate. We get to scope. If all within we purview, we no need for inform you. So informing, in fact. This way they do so now means of information, but to say to go and engage you personally, we not necessarily need for do that. So when we get a report, we work on intelligence, we work on the report. When we get a report, we see and say this has been happening and this not supposed to happen. So what are we to do for ensure that we tackle this thing? So we decided now with the pull a press release, we clearly outline rules, then we, you know, the one day they in charge of government projects then for follow, and we put definitely the sanctions then.
Yeah, it's a red lights with this way the CCC. Okay, well this you don't pass mark. When I don't reach a point, we not decide to not take up this.
Yes, now the several reports then we don't get understanding that I mean we get different means then we get report, and we understand the governments don't incur a lot of the losses there in some of them programs that we can't with knowledge. A case in point, I think maybe I mentioned earlier of the Salwako.
Yes, you make mention
yes,
of Salwako.
so that
because you say Salwako already don't begin pay some of the losses.
Yes, so that's now a classical case in point. So now I make beyond that, beyond even this release, we now they do a comprehensive look on all of the government pending projects.
Salwako lost to have been taking, no going to?
I'm not going to give the exact figure now, but then don't pay, you know, a huge chunk of waiting really involved, the persons, then the individuals that were involved in that issue there, as opposed to waiting be done they happen with our government, be done they, you know, do them payments, then they, if somebody spend funds beyond the date, where even though the contract has been perfectly implemented, they don't do everything with them for doing that. For being that they expend maybe some resources out, I mean outside the specified date, the donor partners then can ask the government can don't they do okay this okay now a problem because this person using discretion maybe out of just that speed there or that desire they for pull this too. So government can don't they pay. But now as we don't start off with Salwako, now the individuals they were responsible for non-compliance to waiting specified and then don't you know manuals there and then they pay some there.
Waiting don't be the reaction so far from the people in it, because talking about paying money, we now we don't implement projects. Waiting on the accident now say they for return them money then they waiting on be the reaction of them.
No, they have been thus far compliant because they.
You not any institution with run at this.
I mean, not to our knowledge, thus far. Okay. I mean, as we they move along, we task force get for, you know, they do their work. We probably would have, but thus far, because they know how much power we have as a commission and how keen are we in ensuring that we enforce. When we come to enforcement, the commission, they know, say we can be very fierce. Okay. And we've, of course, been proving that over the years.
Talking about this, do you foresee any challenge? Like, you get people who decide to not comply?
No, if somebody not comply, that alone could amount to an offense, you know, when you not provide support to we work. So then they understand that. And the commission has enormous powers, like I say, and we know, don't they experience some of them situations there where people then need the support or not they comply. If they don't comply, we force them to comply because they are bound for comply. And waiting we work where they do now for enforce as a commission. Outside the enforcement, now for endear, for encourage, for admonish, now we they do so in them platforms there. But beyond them platforms there, when it comes to enforcement, we're very strict. We're very uncompromising as a commission.
Okay, Alex, continue. We'll look at another story inside the program this afternoon. We go straight to the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education. The Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education don't send back over 3,000 girl picking them go back to school. Maybe don't drop out of school because of some reason them. From 28 community them, from 4 district them. Inside this interview with me, Dr. Olive Musa, one of the Director for Non-Formal Education at the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, talk about how this whole process will start. We will count this interview later as we colleague the try for Putano. Alex, let me continue the conversation. The ACC, they do this. Waiting on the try for achieve in the end game. Waiting on an end game in all of this.
Yes, at the end, now for prevent government from, losing huge amount of resources. At the end, now for ensure say public officers then, continue to comply with the best practices, because part of the best practices worldwide in them programs they are, it's normal that some of them programs they don't get a target, a goal, and those goals are tailored by specific timelines. And by standards, if them timelines and they're not feasible, you get a process where you follow. So we they try to instill that speed, that attitude there
of compliance
regulation. For let public officers then know, say there is no room for let them refuse for comply with set down procedures, rules and regulations then. So, but beyond that also, we they ensure say we able for the confidence we donor partners, them including World Bank and other donor partners in the EU, get in we as a country, as a government, as a commission, we continue for maintain that trust. Mind you, we don't they work with other donor partners, they implementing some of them programs. Then, for example, the social safety net programs, so don't they implement over the years. We start them off with the RESSN, Rapid Ebola Social Safety Net program, sometime in 2014. I think we start way back with little resources like then $1 million, $7 million, and now we don't get about $42 million. And part of the reasons why they continue for invest so much, into then social safety net and related programs, then we monitor now because they're satisfied with the intervention of the commission. We've been part of them programs there, and the feedbacks that they don't get. So we are particular about that. We want for ensure say we maintain that kind of huge trust in them. So now we make beyond then monitoring and we don't do in social safety net related programs. We don't be highly successful, very laudable. In fact, sometime in October or so, when we get to stakeholders engagement, waiting the World Bank people and say now that they were very satisfied with the government, especially the work of the ACC in the social safety net programs, and so we extend that now to other government projects that we want letting partners there become increasingly satisfied, because the more they are satisfied with the attitude, the actions, and the way our people can comply, no issues whatsoever in them program there, that is the more zeal, zest, so and confidence that they get in investing more.
So this action increase the donor and trust in...
No, inevitably. It increases inevitably. If donor partners, they continue to get problems. If they put money, but at the end of the day, they are challenged with people they follow. They need to comply. Definitely, they get satisfied. Sometimes they would even decide for pullouts. In some of the instances, they waiting on the app, they decide to ask for their money back.
Okay.
Because they are clear guidelines. So if you not go by them guidelines, either you refund the money back, you give them the money back, and they will be apprehensive later on even if na something wey critical or really essential for put dem resources dem. So this na for avert issues like that dey and for let them continue for repose more confidence in the government.
So what this go mean if donors them lost faith in people who they give money for implement project them?
No, it would affect all of us. We collective goal, we collective desire for push this country forward. We, I believe, say they are the heart of His Excellency the President in manifesto also, waiting he wants for do. Such a thing will really affect that. So that is why we, as an institution, the ACC, we dey for protect public resources, and at the heart of doing that, for ensure say partners them to the government, then continue forget trust in waiting we do, forget trust in the country, that when there are alarming issues of corruption, integrity, lack of transparency and accountability, those issues then can inhibit the developmental goals of a country. And those are the things that we as a commission would always be working towards preventing, and that is what we've been doing over the years.
Okay, Alex, continue for the three and the story for the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education already. Usai and don't send over 3,000 guys can go back and school, don't go out of school. Dr. Olive Musa, talk more inside this interview to me.
We start with the policy when the radical inclusion policy where then been introduced in 2021. Okay. So we they introduce them because we don't want any girl picking for left behind, whether for various reasons. As long as the opportunity is there, therefore go back to school. So the UNFPA, when our main supporters then, where they support the ministry for the out of school. So then we come together and they say pregnancy and other problems, say, with the girls in 4 districts. So they identify 4 districts. And the statistics that we've been doing at them districts, and they will be very high, particularly in the rural communities. So now they will decide or say, okay, we will start with them 4 communities.
So 4 communities and districts.
The districts are Cambia, Koinadugu, Moyamba, and Kujon districts. And since we did non-formal education, we get the accelerated learning centers, and we get the community learning centers, which we can host the out of school then normally, or let them get some literacy and numeracy skills and some vocational skills. So we use them as a point of contact for them we able for access, for identify young girls that we don't drop out of school. And the one that we want to go back in school. And in them centers, then we get with center coordinators, we are teachers there, of course, and then they offer them services there in the afternoons and evenings after they don't teach in a school. Or whatever don't retire, then at their community, then they in our educationists, so that they work with. So we started off, and then we able in 2022. We identified 800. You see the momentum. We started with 11 communities, and then 4 children, 4 districts in there, and we'll be able to get 800 of them between the ages of 10 to 18, because we focus now on the adolescents and at the age down there. So we get them 800 of them, and they all. We assign with them go to schools them choose the schools and which side they want to go. Some of them not they want to go the same school. And we look at the age, the period, the duration. If I don't drop out of school, maybe the list was 9 months where they don't drop out of school for various reasons, up to 3 years. So they are desirous of going back to school. And even some of them are early marriage, okay. Or even though they don't marry, but because they within that age, so they say that they go back. And some of their partners and say, okay, they allow them.
So then they get support from some of them. They get support from their partner for go back to school.
Well, no. Well, we started off UNFPA provided some materials and educational kits. They do 2 uniforms, they do books, they do adolescent kits, they get pens, and they get also they give them shoes, just for let them start. Because if you go to them community, some of them even for buy shoes and all that. So that was the motivation. And but also when we don't identify them, we make sure say for let them get back into the school mode. We give them some remedial classes, conducting 2 months, 3 days a week. And we also be getting nurse where they can talk to them within that community. So we categorized them, the one they already JSS 1 to 3, we put them in one classroom, the one the SSS and the one in primary school. So the teachers then begin to give them some orientation for letting them back into the school.
Okay. So we did now into 2024. Almost girls them, the Ministry of Education in partner don't send back to school. We now be out of school girls.
So in 2022, as I say, now be 800. In 2023, we sent about 2,015 in those same communities.
These 4 districts.
Yeah, then 4 districts, but we added maybe 1 or 2 communities. And then this 2024, we have been able to send back 3,079 back to school in 28 communities.
So how the period they go now, so now they get more girl picking, we willing to go back, and also the community now they expanded.
Yes, that's how we expand, and that's how the anxiety. In fact, this year we'll be able because of resources, we will not be able to take on board all of them. Because they are so enthusiastic now. Because when we start, as I tell you, we started with 800, that momentum. But when they see now something way good, so the parents they push them picking now. Now that make we able in 2023, we're able for the 2,000. They say, this is a good thing. Then we send with picking them.
The ministry be able to identify the reason why make them pick here, then girl pick here, drop out of school.
Yes, as I said, now for various reasons.
Okay.
One, pregnancy, where some of them they shame for go back, so then go for go born. Some of them are poverty. Some of them also, other things, maybe parents don't die, they're not able to get. And some of them just because they didn't want to school, because some of them friends. So these are some of the reasons, we really, some of the early marriage, But thank God, that one day some laws they do now, so now some of them are rape, all them kinds of things they through the ministry and UNFPA they able to identify the reasons indeed.
So whose impact is don't reach now the educational level in terms of allowing girl people going back to school?
Great. The impact is great. So you will see even in other communities, because not so just the big towns, you will find out like 4 miles, some of them they come up 4 miles for just for let them come, let them identify them and for let them enroll because they want to. So the impact is great. We don't get increase in the enrollment of girls at the schools. So it's great, and people are looking forward to it. In fact, more communities and they come out now. For let them say they're also well for let them be part of this program, so that at least we will sensitize and motivate them to keep them so that they go enroll back in school.
So this process they use for put them back, for let them go back in school, because suppose we don't go drop out of school or somebody who don't suffer SGVB cases, go just fit like for just send them back to school. And I get any method like for psychosocial support when I can give them.
But within the remedial classes, as I say, 3 days a week before school they open, where we don't do the identification, the nurses then they go talk to them. Then the teachers also will give them some, psychosocial counseling, coming from the nurse we can go talk to them. So there is some kind of talk we can talk with them. And but when they go to school, they also, will get benefits from the psychosocial counseling where the schools then they offer because they are the schools then within the community that they will be put in. Okay. Yes.
Well, that now Dr. Olive Musa, who they work at the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, they talk on the 3,000 picking them we don't drop out of school, we don't return back to school as part of government radical inclusion at that ministry. The program they continue and the program we watch, Voices Lunchtime Live program will come to you live on Voice Online TV. I still get with me, Alex Ba, we are public relations assistant na the Anti-Corruption Commission. We will continue the conversation. Alex, one key point we want to make in this warning we want to put out to people who implement project on behalf of donor partners, and when I see each account for become dormant the moment the project come to an end. Why is that?
Yes, because now part of the issues that we notice quite important, and so part of the rules then when we state out that then for comply to that after they don't done the project, who don't want, when we probe, when we investigate, we realize say the project accounts then still active beyond the timeline, because some of the issues in there that the project has been implemented, everything is done, based on the exact dates then waiting for completer, and it has been completed, but then we later realize say the accounts then then they're active beyond. So those are the issues then where part of the rules then we highlight and specify that public officers that are under the implement then program therefore comply with, is that on no account then project accounts there for be active. They should, in fact they must be dormant after the project has been implemented. Every resources, every dime we did has to be there. Or nothing, in fact, no money should be, transferred inside, or nothing should be out.
Okay.
After the project has been completed.
Okay. When I say if a person break the rules there, he will face criminal prosecution.
If somebody go against them, waiting we state that one, will they hold you personally liable.
And face criminal prosecution
yes,
also.
Where necessary. Because like a state, waiting we also...
When I say and face criminal prosecution.
Where necessary. If you read the press release, you'd see something like that accordingly would ensure we take the steps they will for take. Because this is not an issue of allegations of misappropriation. That is what we need to make very clear. It's not an issue of allegation. It's an issue of the one way they implement projects them, with the want them or with the admonish them say, then for comply with the rules them. Because you may have appropriated resources very well, but should you not comply with any of the defined rules, then there is a problem. Because now in their instances, then over time, government don't incur some loss that somebody not comply with rules. Where the one then way they fund them programs there, with man business, when they say this, now this. Also like sometimes Black Monday, if they say 4 o'clock, sometimes at 5 o'clock. So when they say this is the rule, it has to be followed stricto sensu. So it's not an issue of misappropriation, it's an issue about non-compliance to existing rules. So now I could make and clear say, in such instances then, now you will not comply. If there is an issue of loss, now you will be hold personally liable, and now they make such refunds as opposed to the government will be done, they make their refunds and the overtime. And way and beyond that, if need be, we then ensure say we take other steps them. Punitive ones.
We have criminal prosecution.
It can also include prosecution. It can also include other punitive sanctions then, maybe as from banning you from holding public office or charging you to court. And also now we make and say where necessary, because now based
but if you charge somebody, if you find out during this process, when I find out see the person actually do UK pan this process, but they don't get money for do such work, when I find see UK when I can charge them.
No, and in such an instance, it will be a clear contravention of the provision in Section 37, and where in itself, like corruption offense, a blatant one. And such blatant corruption offense, the attractive sanctions will include you being indicted. And if you are indicted, you are found wanting, definitely the sanctions indeed, you pay a fine of not less than 50 million, or you serve a jail term of not less than 5 years, or both of them, in addition to the mandatory restitution where they pay. Restitution, in a sense, in issues of misappropriation, they pay the money. If you are alleged to have embezzled or misappropriated 100 million, they pay in full. In addition to the fines then where they pay on each and separate count charges then where they find you wanting on.
As we end this conversation now, what's the way forward in all of this?
Yes, the way forward as a commission, now for there we get public officers then, for be mindful in the conduct of their duty. Let them know, say, there are laws, then we guide them. Then actions them should hinge on all of those laws then. And most specifically, then one the way they implement government programs, then let them comply. There is no room for any non-compliant, whether it's in the best interest of the program or not, or whatsoever. What you are expected to do is to comply. And if you comply, you may get any issue with the law. You need to come in contention also with the law. But should you refuse to comply, that is where the problem will be. And we as a commission will always be there for ensuring the law as it is strict to sense, so we apply them against any persons where we find, wanting of some of the actions of non-compliance there.
Okay, in name now Alex Barr, Public Relations Assistant na the Anti-Corruption Commission. I for tell and thank you for taking time for joining at the studio this afternoon. Well, family, now this edition of Lunchtime Live go left you for today. I for tell thank you to the entire production team, to Mohamed Denke, Mohamed Conte. We don't work hard for make sure say this program meets you. And to you take your time for watching me, one for tell you thank you also. Continue for like and share with programs them. Me will bring come to this edition of Lunchtime Live. Mina Arnold Felix Elba. This is Tata.
Welcome to Voices Online TV, your trusted source for the latest news and developments in Sierra Leone. Today, we embark on a groundbreaking journey into the arts of our nation's digital evolution. In a world where information flows seamlessly through screens and keyboards, new media has become a powerful force shaping our society and driving progress. From the energetic bloggers who bring fresh perspective to social media, influencers who amplify voices and stories, Sierra Leone's digital landscape is alive with innovation and engagement. In our new program, New Media: Contribution to Development in Sierra Leone, we explore how these digital pioneers are transforming our nation. Join us as we dive into the world of online content creators and media innovators, discovering how their efforts are fostering growth, education, and empowerment across Sierra Leone. Tune in as we spotlight the voices behind the screens, unveil the impact of new media on our development journey. This is New Media: Contribution to Development in Sierra Leone, only on Voices Online TV. Voices,
Your trusted information hub.
welcome to Voices Online TV, your trusted